Yo, what's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing amazing. I got my guy Ryan. This is actually the second time we've had him back on the channel. Ryan, how you feeling today, man?
Oh, feeling blessed and highly favored, doing amazing, man. I appreciate you asking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Ryan is back on the channel. Me and him actually just had a consultation. For context, I did put out a story post saying, "Hey, business owners at a certain level, if you would like a consultation about your business, I'm more than happy to do it in exchange for a testimonial, assuming obviously the consultation does well." And I'm assuming that the consultation went well based off of us being right here, right?
No, it was trash actually. No.
Okay. Yeah. Before we kind of get
Um,
into though, I do want to let Ryan introduce himself for people that maybe aren't aware of him. Ryan, could you just give yourself a brief introduction, who you are, and how you help people?
yeah, for sure. My name's Ryan Mitchell, the official Ryan Mitchell on Instagram, and I help people with getting a clear path on how to improve their credit, get access to business funding, and even start their own credit repair companies with me mentoring them along the way. Essentially, I scaled my company from zero to multiple six figures in just a couple years. At only 23 years old. And so now I'm showing others the duplicatable blueprint to do the same. And a huge part of that was, getting my credit together, get funding, and learning more about content, which Carson helped me a lot with.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. So, I mean, let's just give the audience like a brief a brief intro on like how everything kind of came about, right? Like I put out the story post. I was obviously like, hey, business owners, if you're doing this certain amount of revenue in your business, like I'm more than happy to give a consultation, content
Yeah.
pillars, content structure, content strategy. What made you be like as quick as you were to reach out? Because 24 hours, that's how long a story lasts, right? So yeah. Like what
I,
made
I, I couldn't I couldn't reply quick enough.
you?
You know, if you're watching this, Carson has already moved away from the done for you agency model. I was one of his agency clients, and I loved, everything he did for me. And what's crazy is at the time he put that story up, I had just posted the last piece of content that his team had scripted and edited for me. And so I was ready to pivot, and he was talking about this new info, community project that he's launching about how, teaching others how to duplicate what he's done.
Mhm.
And so as soon as he said the free offer and my business qualified to, what the offer was, I hopped on it right away. I'm like, I need some free game, and a testimonial in exchange for good value is a really no-brainer offer.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. And obviously, like when it comes down to the thing that you said you were moving away from, right? Like obviously I'm moving away from agency, moving away from like done for you services. But like what's some of the things that you were looking to move away from that made you want to move towards like having that consultation with me?
Um, like your work is really quality, but it's expensive, man.
Yeah.
Um, the offer that I bought from you was, and I bought it more off the relationship than the price.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
compared to the old editor that I was working with, I paid 5 times as much per edit um, for
Per
working with
video.
you, but
Yeah.
that's
Per
because I
video.
liked you and I wanted to work with you. But at the end of the day, I'm content is definitely a volume game.
Yeah.
It's quantity and quality, and
Hmm.
so you help me really get the quality part down. And so if I can drop the cost per quantity, then
Yeah.
that obviously allows me to push out more content. So which grows the brand and et cetera. So yeah, I was really just looking for what I thought initially was hiring my own team and hiring my own editor. I think it where I'm at in my business now, it's really just the value you got, the value you gave me on how to hire my own editor was
Mm.
more of a how do I filter out different offers from editors.
Mm.
I think at my current stage in business, I'm not ready to hire someone on full time, but it
Mm.
definitely give me like, okay, pass through these screens to even qualify to work with me and be like an agency that fulfills, my
Yeah.
work for me. Basically gave me the eyes to see, high quality work and not just accepting the first thing that I get because the dollar amount sounds good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I do, number one, like I definitely appreciate the honesty in terms of like obviously the relationship being the main thing that led you from going from the cost per video being, I believe it was just the edits part. You would obviously have to maybe work the script a little bit, but for
Yeah.
the edits part, after you do the videography, to my knowledge, I believe it was about 30 videos for 250 to my knowledge, right?
Yeah, or 300, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So 300, and then that goes from 300 for the editing aspect for 30 to like 1500 for obviously like less quantity, right? So that's something that again I'm more than happy to be transparent about, right? Like some clients paid us up to 5500 a month for
Yeah.
a certain amount of videos, right? And in the done for you agency model, like to obviously be able to provide a high quality service done for you in the way it's done for you, you obviously have to charge a higher ticket, assuming that you have the team in place, which is why like I want to help people build their own team because at the end of the day, like if I have to charge higher for them to not even have their own team internally, then ultimately like I'm making them dependent on me instead of making them an independent business owner, right? So for you, knowing that you now like have the game about screening the editors, right? Like, what would you say that based off our consultation, what were some of the main things that you felt like was the most valuable from like learning how to build out your own team, right? Like, going into this new season.
Yeah, for sure. Just to give the audience a perspective, before I started working with Carson, I was manually scripting all of my videos, and then I was going to pay a videographer $1,000 per session to shoot 30 reels, and then I would send all the footage over to my other editor. Um, and so the initial offer that I bought from Carson was just scripting, which was great. That took a lot of time off my plate and made the quality of the videos better. And then I took scripting and editing. But
Mm-hmm.
what Carson helped teach me on this consultation is his exact framework of how to script the videos. And now versus a year and a half ago, I know how to use AI way better than I did then. And so I'm able to implement his scripting into the AI in order to generate new scripts. And you can probably tell the camera quality of my Zoom call right here, the Riverside. This is the content that this is the camera that I film content with. So instead of paying $1,000 to a videographer every single month, I just put $1,000 onto my camera setup and made sure I have a good, background. And now I'm able to just film content at home, which saves me a ton of money, a lot of time, and it's just more efficient. And then there's also the congruency of people see this background on Instagram, and then if they hop on a sales call with me, it's the same background. And so there's something subconscious about like brings the familiarity. And so
Mm-hmm.
the I have it written down here. The framework that I learned from Carson is stop, teach, and demonstrate. And so we looked at, some of his top performing reels, and they were like, don't ever post on Instagram again until you know this one thing. And like, don't
Right.
do this, and then explain why you don't do it, and then demonstrate what you should do instead. And so to use that framework, I'm able to alter the prompts and do a little bit of prompt chaining in order to get the correct outputs. Because being able to generate the scripts is huge and film it on my own, and then I can just send it over to an editor at the moment. In the future, I'll have a team, but that was the really main takeaway for me was that framework that now I can implement. Because when we first started working together, I was paying him $700 for 30 scripts. That's when he was first, starting out.
Damn.
Um, that was quite a while ago, but you
Yeah.
know, if I even equated it at the same value, it may take me an hour to script 30 videos with AI using that framework, and 700 bucks an hour is worth it to me to take my own time to do it at the moment. Now, in the future, it may not, but currently, the Tomorrow's price is not today's price.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm definitely glad to know that obviously like you have the structure to be able to put into the AI, right? Like I'd say that's probably one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make with content creation as a whole, right? Like they see AI as the crutch instead of the assistant, you know? Like that's literally like what AI is meant to be, is meant to assist, right? Artificial intelligence. Right? It's not meant to be complete intelligence. Because a lot of people they take AI and they don't put the right prompts into it. When at the end of the day, like you put quote unquote, you put shit in, you get shit out. That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, and
So
something else that it wasn't on this consultation specifically, but throughout our time working together, Carson taught me that you can give the AI context and it'll remember it. It has a memory feature. So you can tell it everything about your business, your target audience, who's your ideal client profile. Make these or make these scripts specifically for Instagram, focus most of it on the hook, like having all this stuff about your business. And it knows like where I'm from, my name, my age, like a little bit about my business and my backstory, and that can help generate better scripts that can tell more authentic stories rather than some bland, just whatever. Make me 30 reels on, credit versus it has all the context and I give it the framework that Carson taught me, then it can have super dialed in and specific results that are more personalized.
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. And that's at the end of the day, like what the goal is too when it comes to content. Like a lot of people they try to grow social media pages. Most people don't try to build personal brands. Very two different things, right? Like you might have a social media page that has followers, but it realistically looks like a direct copy from somebody else, right? Versus a personal brand, you have to be a person that is able to command things that build up your brand, right? You have to be unique in some type of way, having influence, right? Having some type of thing that makes you unique. So yeah, I definitely agree. I appreciate you for again like the compliment in terms of AI because I think I forgot even like I talked about that in terms of how to build out the different AI models or agents. So yeah, man. I mean, now that you like have the game right, like when we talk about the scripting, at first that was something that you paid me for, but a lot of what I taught is how to actually do scripting yourself. Now you compare that with AI. Then you move that to you going out on your own, getting the camera. Once you obviously record the content, knowing exactly how to hire an editor, right? Finding them,
Mm.
vetting them, interviewing, onboarding, and managing. Like now that you obviously have all the information, what do you feel like? What do you feel like is next, right? Like in terms of your personal brand, your content. Like, do you feel like it's something else to learn, or what do you really see as like the future now? So you have the game.
Yeah, so future is currently, like as of today, I'm rebranding and restructuring my entire business. So that's the main focus. But once I do that, and you're always going to be improving stuff, but
Yeah.
I have been able to train a sales team to take the calls, so that
Oh,
frees up a lot more of my time to work on my business. And
yeah.
so, definitely pushing out more content on Instagram and having it posted to the other platforms. And something that I was excited about that we talked about in our consultation was, starting to grow on YouTube. And so
Hmm.
I'd asked Carson about like scripting for YouTube and, getting YouTube videos out. And uh, he actually pushed back a little bit and recommended that I really master short form because
Hmm.
YouTube is essentially a sequence of short forms. You're going to need multiple hooks and multiple stop, teach, demonstrate throughout the video in order to keep the retention long on the video. So
Yeah.
definitely long form. I'm a huge believer in the more people watch your content, the more they feel like they know you, the more they know, like, and trust you, the more that they buy from you. And um, uh, something that I learned from Ty Lopez is once someone spends 12 hours of content with you, then they're like a raging fan. They're a loyal fan. So 12 hours could come through, hundreds of short form reels. It could go through, a bunch of different podcasts that they only listen to half of. Um, but what if you had good retention on an hour-long video? And what if they liked it and they watched one every week? Well, in half a year, you'll have a loyal fan. And his rule of thumb is, if you have 200 loyal fans, you'll never have to worry about money again. So that's kind of my long-term, goal with content is to be able to grow and scale everywhere. And because I'm only one person, but I know I have a bigger impact than that, and I'm able to create more top of funnel awareness to get into the systems, to get into my money models that I'm creating, to
Yeah.
get into my client base, to get into my mentorship.
Yeah.
So it's really just going to allow me to impact more people, help change more people's lives with credit, and just be able to build more relationships at scale is where I see content going for me in the future.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. I love the the number one, like you said, one person, but like multi-platform with your impact, right? Like who you're able to help. And yeah, like in terms of the YouTube thing, like that's definitely one another mistake I would say like a lot of people make when they come to me specifically when it comes to content. Because like I personally know, having done short form for the last 12 months of having a certain style that I tried, like literally a month, this month, last year was when I posted the first ever rap education video. Just idea from to execution, right? 12 months ago. And I knew it was I knew the idea was game changing. What I didn't know was the work that would be required to actually turn this idea that was already a good idea into something that people actually want to watch from a video standpoint, right? How to upgrade my audio quality, video quality, the editing quality, the ultimate, like, you know, things that lead up to you having a good video. It took me another 7 months to even get a video for 10,000 views just with the raps, right? 35 videos. But after 35 videos, after 7 months of trying it, stopping, trying, stopping, obviously the 10,000 view video was the first point of success. And then, like all the best creators say, once you find what works, you double down. So now that I have that context of like truly what mastery requires, now I can say, okay, like you want to take the first step, right? Short form, that's a minute long. You still learn scripting, you still are filming, you still are obviously having the edit quality be top tier. Master that, take the first step, and then you can end up going up the staircase a lot more, right? So, yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps it up for all the questions I had, Ryan. I mean, to close this off, like if you had any thoughts or comments to a business owner, they might be somebody that's at a certain level of their business, right? Like already pretty much doing well for themselves, making sales 20, 30, 40, 50 a month. They just want to grow the personal brand that can grow their business even more. Like, what would you tell them after having been on a consultation with me?
Really, I would say that building a personal brand is a way to build more assets. It's not
Mhm.
real estate. It's not something that you own on paper. Um, but being able to be everywhere at once and have everybody see you, like I can't tell you how many clients were skeptical about credit, and they're like, "I'm gonna go with you just because I feel like I can trust you." And my sales guys even hear that. So I don't even have to be on the call, but because they've seen my content, they're like, okay, I
Yeah.
feel like I can trust Ryan. I'm going to go with him. So, in my opinion, building the brand, the personal brand, is the tide that rises all ships. And if you
Mhm.
have a big personal brand, then you're also not locked into one industry. Like, there's a reason I'm not Ryan the credit guy. I'm the official Ryan Mitchell. So hopefully people will begin to like me and know me and trust me. And so, over time, if I want to start offering other products or services, I can. However, that's not what I'm focused on at the moment. I'm a big fan of like focusing on one thing. So
Yeah.
I would challenge you to focus on making content more of a priority in your business. And learn from people who have the results that you want, like Carson.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. Well, if anybody is in Ryan's position, right, you might be a business owner. Again, you're doing well. You just want to scale through personal branding and Instagram. I'm going to leave a link, the top link in the description. Book a 45-minute call with me. We can kind of audit your content strategy, see what you're doing well, see what you're not, and how I can kind of fill that gap in the middle. If you're not a business owner, though, you might be somebody that's kind of just starting off. You just want to build a personal brand that eventually allows you to launch an offer and build your business as a result of that. I'm actually having a free masterclass August 28th. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, going through my entire story, all the mistakes I made from living in the city, eating oatmeal for 90 days straight, spending $500 a month in insurance and having to sell my car to save money, to now growing a multi six-figure content company, being able to have a personal brand that allows me to pivot into a different type of company. Living in India, it's 6 a.m. right now, but I'm able to travel, and how I was able to build a personal brand that allowed me to build a business that allowed me to change my life. So you can hop on that free class, but if that's pretty much it for you, Ryan. It's it for me. I appreciate you hopping on this interview, brother. Welcome people. Where can people tap in with you if they need their credit fixed or funding, business? How can they tap
Yeah,
in?
for sure. Best place to reach me is on Instagram, the official Ryan Mitchell. And you'll also be able to see, what my content looks like after working with Carson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can also find me as well. Carson Raps Content, CARSON, on Instagram and all platforms. Appreciate you, Ryan. This was a good interview. I hope you have a good day, brother. Keep shining. Yes, sir.